Good morning, this is Jeremy Williams with Sewer Line Inspectors. We are here at 15740 Varden Street in Encino, performing a video examination of the main sewer line. We'll be entering into the system today through this main cleanout we're looking at here. It's in the front planter area. You can see the street's just out from here. It's basically near the front left corner of the structure. First portion of the line here is a newer plastic material called ABS plastic. Slow down. Plastic's an excellent material for main sewer lines. There's several reasons for that. Smooth inner walls allows for maximum drainability. Just wait there. Smooth inner walls allows for maximum drainability. It doesn't rust or corrode over time, so it's got this unlimited life potential. It's flexible, so it does quite well with seismic activity. And last, far from least, however, is when properly installed, roots should be unable to penetrate through the joints of the piping. Right here we have a side connection, and you can see that water is actually running through that side connection. We're going to go ahead and locate this this side connection and see where it's at and try to determine what's connecting to it. But basically what this means is to the left there, if we could make the camera turn left, which we can't unfortunately, we'd be able to go up what's considered a second portion of sewer line. Probably not a very big portion, but second nonetheless. If there is an additional access point, we'll utilize it. Here's the end of the plastic coming up, and we're transitioning into vitrified clay, that orange piping. Vitrified clay, like plastic, does not rust or corrode over time. Where it differs quite a bit from plastic is root intrusions. Roots are very common in clay piping, whereas they're an indication of failure in plastic. Roots do, however, in clay require a regular maintenance routine to clean the roots out of the system, something that should typically take place on about a yearly basis. Failure to properly maintain roots in clay can result in those roots eventually blocking or even potentially damaging the pipe. Now, damage is obviously what we really want to avoid. Give me a close-up of the roots as close as we can get. So here you can see they're coming in right at the joint on the left. That's exactly where you'd want to see a root in a clay system. So it's quite acceptable. Just want to look at this root right here. So they're just growing over the top and sloping down again. A couple more roots here at this joint. This joint looks pretty clear. Minor roots there. Another clear joint. So as you can see, basically clay comes in several foot sections that are all jointed together. So what we want to identify is that all the roots are coming in at the joint, and where there are roots, no damage exists to that joint. So far everything's checking out fine. Okay, good. Right here is our city sewer tie-in. Let me just go look at the saddle real quick. Back, slow, back. So you can see here we have a little bit of a little crack in the joint. Now, the joints of clay systems, what happens here is there's an overlap of pipe that occurs. There's the inner wall and then there's an outer wall. So it's a big end, small end type thing, and they're put together. Cracks within the confines of a joint, which this one absolutely is, are quite common. There's no roots coming in through this crack, so it tells me it hasn't breached the outer wall. If it had, and there was a clear path that was no mortar, no joint at all, roots would really come flooding into it. So it's something you can keep an eye on, but it looks superficial. It's something that could have happened 25, 35 years ago, and it hasn't changed since. There's just no way to know. But for things like that, we do recommend that main sewer lines, especially clay, be examined after any major earthquakes, as well as every couple of years, as conditions can just be naturally changing over time. And we're just getting kind of a snapshot how it looks today, picture with no history in which to base anything off of, or how it's going to progress in the future. By doing regular examinations, we can gain that history and see how it's changing from one examination to the next, if at all. So obviously this is the city sewer, much larger pipe. This is where your responsibility would end. We're probably underneath the street, about dead center-ish of the street, or in the cul-de-sac a ways. So even though it's under city property, you do own piping under that city property that the property owner would be responsible for. I'm going to go ahead and end this chapter. We're going to do some investigative work on that second line, where it's at, etc. If we find an additional access point, there will be another video. If we do not, we'll make note of it in our written report. And that is going to conclude the video portion of this examination. Again, this is Jeremy Williams, Sewer Line Inspectors. Thank you very much, and have a great day.